Well, hey there, guys. Hope your guys' Sunday is going okay as I'm currently heading into the office to pick up my work stuff. And I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to title this video in the title, but it's I've got a little maybe a little bit of a rant here about it's weird how some people, I mean, it's almost like in the eyes of a lot of different fans or fan bases that teams are always supposed to be absolute hot garbage, dog crap bad. And God forbid that a team turns into a contender. Which brings up the whole idea of, we're talking about, I'm talking about one team I'll talk about here is Florida. People are absolutely totally complaining now about, well, the Florida Panthers, they shouldn't be this good. Why are they this good? Which then I beg the question, did you not watch them from 1997 to about 2022? Or even 2021? Did you not see them over the span of over 25 years where they won one, maybe two playoff series that entire time? They were a consistently horrible team. They couldn't win to save their lives. They got to the Stanley Cup Final their third year. A lot of people thought, okay, hey, maybe this would be a good thing for them. And then they were garbage. Absolute hot garbage for over 25 years. But now, because they barely make the playoffs in 2023, they shock a lot of people. They make the Stanley Cup Final. They get trounced in that final. The next year, 2024, they go back to the final, and they win it. They go up 3-0. It's looking like, okay, Florida's going to get their first Stanley Cup. This is cool. And then they proceed to lose 3 in a row. And we're thinking, this is going to be the most epic choke job in modern sports. Blowing a 3-0 lead in the final to end up losing. That was kind of that's what a lot of people were thinking. But then Game 7, they got it together in Game 7. They won. They won the Stanley Cup. And now here they are again. They're back in the final for a third year in a row. They might win back-to-back. But now people are complaining about them. Now people are complaining, well, there's no state income tax, so they can get all these players that'll take less money to go there. And that's a problem. Why? Why is that a problem? And why is it that all of a sudden now no state income tax is an issue? Because how's that really help the Dallas Stars? How many Stanley Cups have the Dallas Stars won over the last 10 years? Well, that's right, none. They made the finals once. They've been to the conference final the last 3 years in a row, and they've lost every one of them. Nashville. Tennessee doesn't have a state income tax. How's that helping the Nashville Predators? How many championships have they won? Oh, yeah, they haven't. Getting a good general manager who knows what the hell he's doing in getting talent, getting a good head coach to help bring it all together. That's what Florida has done. They hired Bill Zito, who the Buffalo Sabres, in their stupidity, could have had him as their general manager. They interviewed him to be their general manager. We don't want him. He'll just go on and build another. He'll just go to the Florida Panthers and build these guys into a team that's made the Stanley Cup Final for 3 years in a row. But just the fact that people are complaining now about a team, they don't deserve to be this good. Why? They were garbage for 25 years. What do you mean they don't deserve it? The whole point is to become a good team. This is what drives me nuts about the Minnesota Wild. This is a team that's been in the NHL since 2000. Have they sniffed a championship? No. Could they maybe? Maybe, but they're in a division that is just lethal. And to get out of the Western Conference for the Minnesota Wild, my God. I look at the teams they got to deal with. Dallas, Colorado, Edmonton, Vegas, LA, Winnipeg. It's crazy. Don't mind the fact that Minnesota has got one of the highest state income taxes. They're like the fifth or sixth most taxed state in the entire country. Here Minnesota is. But it's interesting when people talk about, these players want to go. These players love going to no income tax states. Which, yeah, I mean, I do think it might play a role, but nobody said a word about that. For over 25 years, when the Florida Panthers, me included, were talking about 10 years ago that this is a team, they don't draw any fans, they don't make any money. Why are they still there? Get them up out of there and move them to Quebec. I was saying that years ago. But, obviously there's no video of me saying that 10 years ago. I didn't have a channel back then. I wasn't even thinking about having a hockey YouTube channel back 10 years ago. But I'd been saying this to friends of mine for years. Like, why are they still there? This is a team that they're lucky if they draw 5,000 fans to a game. They're giving away tickets because they were garbage. Absolute trash on the ice. And I'm like, why are they there? But nobody complained about that. Nobody talked about, all these good players are going to eventually go there because no state income tax. No. Players want to go there because they're seeing what's going on now, and they see, hey, we could be a part of something special here. We don't need to make $16, $17, $18 million a year. I can take $7 million, go play here, and potentially be on a cup contender year in and year out. That's why guys like Sam Reinhart signed a long-term deal for a lot less money than he could have got on the open market. He could have made probably over $10 million on the open market, but he decided to stay in Florida for less money. Why? Because this is a team that's been to 3 straight Stanley Cup Finals and might win a second straight championship. These guys are like, hey, so we're making $7 million instead of like 14. Okay, you're still making plenty of money. Why not make plenty of money that might be considered below market value, but you're on a team that's a championship contender? Why would you want to be constantly on a team? Hey, I'm gonna make a boatload of money. I'm gonna make $14, $15 million a year, but yet be on a team that's absolute hot ass. Like the Buffalo Sabres. At what point? Say the Buffalo Sabres in the next couple years, maybe even starting next year. Somehow they find a way, they put it together. They barely get into the playoffs. And maybe they shock some people. They go on a run. They get to the Stanley Cup Final. They lose. Then they incrementally start getting better during the regular season. And they go on a Florida Panthers style run here, and they say go to the Stanley Cup Final for a couple years in a row and maybe win a championship. I'm just throwing them out as an example. How many people are going to complain that the Buffalo Sabres, well, they don't deserve to be in that spot? When's the last time they made the playoffs? I don't understand. I don't understand the gripe that everybody's having about the Florida Panthers, because, like I said, where was all this criticism of no state income tax for 25 years when the Panthers were god-awful? Now that they're having some success, now that they've been to the Stanley Cup Final 3 straight years and have won a Stanley Cup, now people are bitching. Now people are complaining. The Panthers don't deserve this. Why? Why? They're proving that they're better than everybody in the Eastern Conference right now. You want to prove that you're better than the Florida Panthers? Beat them. Beat them. Nobody's been able to beat them since Vegas in the 2023 final. It drives me a little crazy. It just drives me a little crazy that so many people now are going to complain. And now it's only a matter of time now that even if the Oilers, say the Oilers don't win the Stanley Cup this year, or even say they do, they made the Stanley Cup Final the last 2 years. When are people going to start complaining then? Oh, why are the Oilers so good? Like, what? Like, they haven't been this consistent of a team to be a playoff team since Gretzky. The rationale of a lot of the fans and a lot of the people out there saying that, why are these guys so good? They don't deserve to be so good. Why? You want them to be hot trash every year? I don't know. It's just weird. I don't understand the criticism. And again, and I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting. If the Minnesota Frost, say next year for the PWHL, for the third PWHL season, say they do it again. Say they get back to the PWHL final again for a third year in a row. When's the complaining going to start then for them? I actually did see a couple of comments on the little run that the Frost have been on, the fact that they won their second straight championship. I've already seen a couple of comments. PWHL is rigged for Minnesota. Oh, go. I literally, I think I responded, I'm like, are you freaking serious? Like, are you kidding me? This is a league, it's been around for 2 years. And now you're saying they're rigging it for a team. I'm like, oh, God. And I'm like, if you're going to rig it for a team, you're not going to rig it for Minnesota. You're going to rig it for New York. You're going to rig it for Boston. You're going to rig it for like, really? Really? You're going to rig it for Minnesota over Boston, over New York? I'm just like, yeah, I swear some of these people are trolls. I swear they're just trolling people when they say stuff like that, because it's so idiotic. It's just so idiotic. And just the whole thing about the Florida Panthers, they don't deserve to be this good. It's idiotic. My personal opinion, it's idiotic. They were garbage for over 25 years. Now that they have a team that is a pretty darn good team that has made the Stanley Cup Final now for a third year in a row and might potentially win a second straight cup, now people are complaining. Like I said, to me, it's just my personal opinion. It's idiotic, but I try to put some rationale on this as to I try to put a rational argument as to saying, So the state income tax didn't have anything to do with the fact that they were hot garbage for 25 years, the Florida Panthers. I don't know. It's odd. It's odd, but again, it's sometimes I swear it's just fans just wanting something to complain about, and the Florida Panthers are just they're the new hotness that people can complain about because they were a team that was horrible for 25 years and probably should have been relocated a decade ago, but weren't. And now they're a Stanley Cup contender, they're a Stanley Cup champion, and they are currently now a Stanley Cup finalist for a third year in a row. So I guess it's the new hotness now to completely dump on the Florida Panthers. But let me know your guys' opinions in the comments. What do you guys think? Where was the complaining? Did any of you guys hear people complaining about the Florida Panthers and how good they were going to be back in like 2004, 2005, 2015? Hell, 2019-20. Did anybody see this coming from the Florida Panthers? I didn't. But let me know in the comments, though. Let me know what you guys think. And, some kind of rational argument as to why all of a sudden a team that was so bad for so long is good and why that's not a good thing. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Hit that like button. It definitely helps the channel out. Subscribe to the channel. That would be fantastic. I would love you for doing that. Also, share the video with everyone that you know. Share it with your friends, your family. If there's people out there that you know that love hockey stuff, tell them about the channel. I'd love to have all the hockey fans in the world. I'd love to have you all here with me at Larry's House of Hockey. And even if you're new to the game, I'd love to have you here too. And yeah, it's just, to me, it's crazy that, the Florida Panthers, they were so bad for so long. Now they're good, and now people don't like it. Let me know again, though, what you guys think in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Also, to hit that little notification bell. That way you can be notified anytime future videos are uploaded. And yeah. I don't understand the criticism. But, because I think the criticism is just completely asinine just because of the fact that they were so bad for so long, and now they have a couple years of success, and now people complain about it. But, again, let me know in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe, share. I'll see you guys later.